everybody. It is Brandon Foster, confidence coach and faith-based business mindset expert, here to share with you an incredible story, Michael's story of going through our Born to Slay Mindset Mastermind. Let's give Michael some round of applause. Hi, Michael. How are you today?
Great, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for taking the time to share your incredible story and your journey with everybody who is out there watching on YouTube land, inside the Facebook group, and all the places. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So
My pleasure.
Let's start with how did you find me and what was going on that led you to work with me?
Well, I started on my journey in the travel industry a year and a half ago, and within a couple of months, I knew, okay, there's stuff I don't know. And so I started to go out on a search, and then I found Cindy Williams. And then once you find her, a whole bunch of stuff starts to attract to you. And that's where I found you online. And I knew there was something there and I had to be a part of it. And it took me a while to get on board, but that's how I found you. And I'm glad I did.
Me too. And so why don't you tell everybody a little bit about your background, because you're not new to running a family business, and you're not new to business. You're newer into travel, but you've been in travel now for a year and a half. So give everybody a little bit of your background.
So I've been in the hospitality business since 1996. My family's owned restaurants since the early 60s, still do. And I started, very, very young, and have been in it. And I like to say the hospitality business, not the restaurant business, because that's what we are. We do hospitality. And it's just, you do the same thing for so long, you kind of get burnt out a little bit, and you start looking for new things to do. And I really wanted my wife to become a travel agent, because she's literally one of the smartest people I know, but she doesn't like her anxiety to deal with what we deal with would kill her. So I was like, okay, I'll do it, because we both have a passion for travel. We both love Disney, and that's kind of how we get started. I think that's how most travel agents get started. And that was it. I wanted to have something that if I ever left the restaurant business, which I'm going to very, very soon, I've already started my processes, that I have something that I can do that I enjoy. And that's what's important. And I love the restaurant business, and I've been doing it for a long time, but I love travel, and travel's really got a soft spot in my heart.
I love it. Now, what was going on in your travel business that led you to decide to join Born to Slay? What was happening, and what was your heart saying?
So in the beginning, I would say, because I've had a lot of success with things, usually a lot of the things I do in the restaurant profession, I did them and I was really good at them. And my thought process going into travel is, I'll be good at that. I can make that happen. I'll make $1 million. It's hard. And so right away, when I wasn't excelling the way I thought I should right away, I threw the brakes on right away, and I was like, hey, I need help. Something is not right. The puzzle pieces aren't fitting together. And that's when I talked to you. I started putting it out in my vision board as to where I needed to be. And once I got past the mental roadblocks of the cost, because it's not cheap, but it's, very reasonable. Once I got past that, it was like, oh, dummy, you should have done this a long time ago. Where would we be now? But
it's so funny that you say that, because one of the things that you learn inside the program is you got to let go of the I can't and the why behind I can't, right? You have to let go of those pieces, no matter what those pieces are, and I have to do the same thing in my business, which is every time you say I can't, you're really saying I choose not to. And you're choosing not to often because of a belief that you have of why you can. When you can let that go, it's always about how can I, as opposed to I can't. So I love that. Okay,
Yep.
so you join the program,
Mhm.
and what happens inside the program?
Well, I got when I first started, I would say probably within a few months, I hired a marketing coach to help me build um my like processes, my lead capture funnels, all that kind of stuff that you kind of got to have. But there was still a block in the I can't. And so when I got into the program, I think it's either the first or second module, the clarity, and that's when you wake up and you're like, oh, wow, okay. And the right from the very beginning, you understand there's a faith-based mentality that you kind of got to have to succeed. And I don't think I had that before. And I was able to harness that and really make that the driver. I don't, maybe the driver is not the right word, but make that like what helped pull me along. And, I've always been, faith-based and nothing crazy or not. But when I finally just like pulled open the curtains, like, okay, hey, we're putting faith in something here. Let's see where it goes. And you shut up and listen and wait for the reply. That's when things start falling in your lap.
And what fell in your lap?
So I'm a year and a half into this adventure. I'm this close to being top producer in the with the host I'm with, and I've really just taken off and made so many great connections into this with this organization, um, with the whole industry. In fact, it's got me to a point now where I'm helping other agents who are been in it longer than me and aren't succeeding, pointing them in the right direction, just teaching them what I know. Things that I've in my brain, it's like, oh, well, yeah, well, you should be doing that. But it's a lot of people come into this industry and they don't know, they're not business minded people. They don't know. So I've been teaching them how to take their business to the next level. So much so that I just created my course, the TA prep school, where I hit the module system and they go through it and learning it and learning everything that I've learned. So, it's just trying to give back to this great community.
I love that. And
Mhm.
I want to go a little bit deeper into what you've learned and how your thinking is actually impacting those practical pieces, how it's impacting what you do and what you don't do inside of your business. Elaborate on a little bit more of that for people to really understand.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when you let go of I can't do something,
Okay.
how does that open up new pathways and new
Well,
doors?
I think the one of the things, like I said, is by saying no, you really just there's no options. So by saying I can't do that, I can't afford this, I've never, it's scared. You're scared. And one of the things that I did is you kick that damn door open, and then you deal with the consequences, I guess, on the other side. And from my experience going through here, the consequences have all been very beneficial to me because what I kicked open was the fear. And so my lack of faith in myself and what I'm capable of, I kicked that door open, and I've been able to. I've gone to so many different things because of this. Going to the CLIA Hall of Fame, being nominated in my company for recognized as agent. I can't remember what they call it. One of their awards for as an agent, and then just growing who I am. I've taken over a BNI group. My confidence in that has been tremendous. I was just named director of BNI in Arizona, so I'll have my own BNI group committee that's not just my group. I'm going to oversee them. My confidence by taking this course has really just kicked the door open and made me a whole new person.
I love it. That's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
That is the goal. And one of the things I love that you said is, really using your faith. And for anybody out there who's watching or listening, I just want to remind all of you that you always have faith in something. You either have faith that you can do it or faith that you can't do it. A faith that you are backed by your creator or a faith that you're not backed by anybody. And you're always putting your faith in something. And so I love that you learned how to reorient that faith into a positive way. Now, you're not new to mindset stuff because you've been in other masterminds and things before. So for anybody who has maybe done mindset before and they want to know, okay, who the heck is this Brandon guy? He got this book on Amazon, Confident AF. Like, how is his program different and how is he different than what you might find in other places?
I think the big difference is your personality really just like, it takes away that wall. So when you talk to most mindset people in the business or business coaches, they got brooms up their butt, sticks up their butt. They're so like stuffy, and you blow it up. Like, your personality is inviting and it makes you want to be in the program and absorb the program and bring it all in. And I think that that's what's really important, and that's what's missing in a lot of other programs. And then so when you jump into this and, like, you're starting every conversation with, hey, boo, it's like, oh, he wants to be my friend. Okay, I guess I'm going to sit here and talk to him,
Yeah, and the people, some people that are subscribed or they see my social media posts or my emails, they're like, is he like that in person? Yes, I'm going to call you Boo on actual calls. Like, what you see is what you get, right? Okay, I love that. And what would you say were the surprises, inside of the program that you were like, oh wow, like this hit hard or this hit deep or this is really impactful?
I think two things. Obviously, I think the first one, one thing that I really took in was asking God for help, but not just asking for help, being more detailed about what I want. So not just saying, hey, God, help me, but asking him and then saying, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. That was number one that's what I took from a lot of it. But number two was accountability from you. So you go into the Zooms, like our weekly Zoom meetings, and it's like, you're holding us accountable for what we say and how we feel. And we have to slap you in the face a couple times. And that, for me, it helped. It wasn't just like, oh, I can skate through this. There was accountability. And I think that was important in it.
I've never had anybody say that, but I love that you said that, because we are accountable for how we think, whether we hold ourselves accountable or not. And what we have inside of our business and we have inside of our personal life is always going to result of two things: our thoughts and our actions. Thoughts being the biggest one, which determine our actions, and their energy and emotional feeling, which determines how we attract those things. And so that accountability piece is, really holding you all accountable to see how what is happening in your business right now was created by the actions and thoughts you did yesterday, and how the thoughts and actions you're doing at this very moment is creating different things for your future.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, or am I?
Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I think that's absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you also had a one-on-one session with me. And what was that like, having that one-on-one time with me?
Man. Yeah, go back and remember what we talked about now. No, it was good. I think the one-on-one session we just did was good, but can I talk about the one-on-one session we did a year ago? That was more impactful to me than the last one, which the last one we did, it was kind of like a wrap-up. So I don't think we met during the container until the very end, one-on-one.
Yeah.
But more importantly, when you and I met for my consultation call, that was more impactful to me than a lot of what we went through. And let me explain why. Because from the moment we met, you didn't know me very well. You told me where I was going to end up and what needed to happen. from that first conversation. And I was like, this guy's crazy. I can't stop pushing me. But everything you said to this day today is where I'm pointing myself that I need to be. And, you told me, hey, I got to stop focusing and worrying about my day job, in the plan that I needed to be on. I don't know if you remember that conversation, but that got me.
I remember. Listen, I remember all the yeses and I remember all the nos. So yes, I do remember that conversation. And, I will be really honest with you too, that when I do those deep dive calls, sometimes because I have this divine intuition of really tapping into how people are feeling emotionally, and where I can see, after coaching so many people, I can see a lot of things that are blind spots. Mm-hmm. And, one of the things that God has continued to work on me is really learning what is someone ready for and what are they not ready for to hear. And I remember on your call, because I was like, there was some pauses that I had, and I was like, God, are you sure he's ready to hear this? And it was like, no, like, he is someone who's special. He's someone that needs to hear all of this now. And what a lot of people may or may not realize is that everything I do is from the lens of, you're going to work with me. You're going to work with me. And so a lot of, whether it's a deep dive call, whether it's listening to the podcast, whether it's doing a lower cost offer, a bundle, a course, whatever it is all preparing the heart and the mind for the work that's to be done inside the container. And what I did in that call is I poked a lot of holes. And made you look at all the dirty spots in like a home. If you're doing a deep cleaning, pulled everything out the fridge and everything else. I showed you all the pieces that you were either ignoring or maybe you didn't know that existed, not because there was anything bad or wrong, but because we get used to our way of thinking. We get used to our habits. We get used to it, and it becomes a default, and we don't even know we can think differently. We don't even know that there's something else that's available to us. So I do remember that. And there was also afterwards, was like, I wonder if I, did I push him too far? But I'm so happy to hear you reflect that back to me, that was so impactful just to have that conversation.
Yeah, it was, because it changed the way I was thinking about it. And it took me a while, because I think I went like maybe 4 to 6 months until I actually officially signed up. But it was more than just changing my mind. It was, okay, I started to buy like really fast, but because I was brand new, like I didn't have the disposable income to just, okay, let's commit this finances. I had to get my wife. And the one thing, she's going to kill me, but the one thing I had to do with this is I had to learn your program, and I had to, very politely, in a nice husbandly way, teach some of this to my wife, because she wasn't buying into the mindset. She's getting there slowly but surely. But so it's been a long road to get to where we're going to be. And now that she's kind of buying in, it makes things a little bit easier for me, at least.
Yeah. I love that you said that too, because the truth is that the best way to change people's perspective and opinion is to show that it works. Mm-hmm. Right. And so the more that you do it yourself, and the more you apply the principles to yourself, and they can see the outward manifestation of it, it reaffirms for them that it is true. Right.
Yep.
And so that's amazing. I love that. So what would you say to someone who is thinking about joining this program, who wants to know how it can impact them? What would you say?
Jump in. It will change your life if you drop the fear. Accept the program, do the work, and it will change your life. It really will. But if you come in and you don't do the things to better yourself, you're not going to succeed. It's not a magic pill. You have to accept it and take action on the different modules, and not just watch the video and listen, but you got to sit there and watch the video, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times, fill out your affirmations, your daily, like your weekly recap, and live the life that you want to live, and it'll happen.
I love that. Anything else you want to share? Practical wins, anything else that you want to share before we hop off?
I'm just very grateful, and I hope that more people can take advantage of the program, and the community grows. And I just want to say thank you.
My pleasure. And I am calling and believing in all those things too. And it was such a great, and I can't wait to see. My favorite thing for all of you all watching is I know that every single person that goes through Born to Slay, they haven't even really just started. Like, they've barely started. They've barely scratched the surface, because I know how all of this stacks, because I started this program 2 years ago, and I've seen people double, triple sales, triple their income. I've seen it happen, and I've seen how much they've grown and how much it becomes a way of their life, and understanding these habits and these processes, they're able to do it on every new level of their business. The key piece is consistency of the process and reworking the process over and over again on new levels. And so that's my encouragement to you, Michael, is consistency, and keep reworking the process. And for anybody watching, when you wait, I always tell everybody in this, when you wait to do these things, you postpone the blessings that are waiting from the changes that you make.
Yep.
And that's why I'm so proud. I know you said it took you 4 or 6 months, but I'm proud that you did it, because, we're wrapping up, going into the new year. Now you've done all this work. So it's all going to carry over to the new year, where a lot of people are like, what am I going to do this year? You already have all these seeds that have been planted, ready to grow, ready to harvest, and you're still planting these seeds. And you have no idea. I mean, I do, and I think you do too, because you have faith, because you're taking the action, but you don't know how high you're actually going to grow. And I know you're going to be surprised, and I love it when God surprises me even more. And I'm just super proud and grateful for you. So thank you.